Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'll be doing a speed test comparison between the Umidigi A9 Pro and the new mobile G5. Okay, so I'm doing this speed test today because these are two phones you can buy right now for under $150. They are unlocked for all GSM carriers like T-Mobile, AT&T, and their MVNOs. Now, both of these phones here are similar in a lot of ways. However, there is one thing that really stands out between the two devices here that you're going to see in this speed test. So let's go ahead right now, turn the phones around, and give them a boot up test in 3, 2, 1, now. So the Umidigi starts up first, or powers on first. Their new mobile comes up. Got a much brighter screen here on the new mobile G5 than the Umidigi for the startup screen. So we'll just wait here and see which one actually starts up first. I will give a few specs. If you want to see an actual comparison between these two devices after the speed test, leave it down below in the comment section and I'll make that happen. But the A9 Pro starts up first, and behind it is the new mobile G5. So now we're here on the home screen, and I want to give just some basic specs just to show you what we're working with here with both of these phones. Like I said earlier, if you want to see a more detailed comparison between these two phones, leave it down below in the comment section and we'll make that happen, okay? Now, the Umidigi A9 Pro runs the MediaTek Helio P60 processor with 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of onboard storage, and the new mobile G5 runs the MediaTek Helio A25 processor with 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. Like I said earlier, both of these phones you can buy right now for $150 or less, and they both are unlocked for all GSM carriers. Okay, so we're here now on our app opening page. Let's go ahead first of all and check out some Geekbench 5 scores. So here you'll see that the Umidigi A9 Pro got a single core score of 274 and a multi-core score of 1308. The new mobile G5 got a single core of 140 and a multi-core of 879. Both of these here are running Android 10. So you can see right there's a major difference here in the processor between both of these phones, going from the P60, which is a pretty powerful little processor, versus the entry-level, low-end Helio A25 here in the new mobile G5. So we're going to see just how much difference there is between the speeds of both of these phones here, according to these benchmark scores. So let's go ahead and go back home here, and we'll go ahead and clear out all the apps, just like this. And we'll get started in with this test, starting now. That was the A9 Pro. Let's go into YouTube. That was the A9 Pro. Let's go into the calculator. That was the A9 Pro. Let's go into the calendar. The A9 Pro by a long shot. I may hit the calendar first on the A9 Pro, but still won out. Let's go into the clock. That was the A9 Pro. Let's go into Target. And the A9 Pro starts up quite a bit of time faster there on the A9 Pro. Let's go into Amazon Shopping. That was the A9 Pro once again. Let's go into Instagram. That was the new mobile G5. Let's go into the Play Store. And that was the A9 Pro. Let's go into Prime Video. And that's about even there. Pretty close. Let's go into Snapchat. Even once again. Let's go into Twitter. And that was the Umidigi A9 Pro, but not by much. Let's go into Netflix. And that starts up first there on the new mobile G5. Let's go into Temple Run 2. We're seeing that P60 is really shining now here, opening these games. Opening Temple Run 2 up considerably faster than the new mobile G5. So by several seconds there. Let's go back home. Let's go ahead and start up dead trigger. So push them at the same time, but it started up faster there on the A9 Pro and the new mobile G5 right behind it. Let's go ahead and go into the last app here, which is PUBG Mobile. So you're seeing the difference there. There was some apps that were at the same time, but you're seeing the difference there between the Helio P60 and the A25. Both of them are Helio processors. But you're seeing here how much it's just that this P60 just kind of trucking along here a little bit. So behind is the new mobile G5, and this is a speed test comparison between phones, but it's really kind of between the processors too, for two phones that are near the same price. Okay, for what difference in the processors is, you can see how much faster PUBG opened on the Umidigi A9 Pro, and we're still waiting. And all these X's here we got to press and stuff like that, which is kind of slowing it down. There we go. So you can kind of see right there how much faster this one loaded up. So now we're going to do just a little bit of RAM management. Okay, see which apps are open in the background. I'm not expecting much from either one, to be honest, because even though with this 6 gigabytes of RAM, I just don't know. But we're going to start off here with the new mobile G5. Starting up with PUBG, and that was, of course, that was open. We'll go into dead trigger. That was open as well. Temple Run 2, that had to be reloaded. Netflix had to be reloaded. Twitter was open. Snapchat was open. Prime Video had to reload. Play Store was open. Instagram was open. Amazon Prime had to reload. Target had to reload. The clock was open. Calendar was open. Calculator was open. YouTube was open. And the Bible had to reload. So pleasantly surprised here in the reload department here on the new mobile G5. Now let's check out the Umidigi A9 Pro, starting with PUBG Mobile. Of course, that was already open. Go into dead trigger. Open, of course. Temple Run 2. That was open, of course. Netflix. A slight reload there. Twitter was open. Snapchat was open. Prime Video was open. Play Store was open. Instagram open. Amazon. Bit of a blink there, but it was still open. Target still open. Clock had to reload. Calendar had to reload. Calculator, YouTube had to reload, and the Bible had to reload. So overall feel, just going through those apps again, the Umidigi did feel a lot smoother and more snappy. But you seen the test there, okay? These phones, like I said before, you can buy from between $130 and $150. But there's the test, Umidigi A9 Pro, new mobile G5, both for $150 or less. Now, like I always say, these tests are not scientific. They're just the same apps on the same network at the same time to see which one can get there faster, okay? And like I said earlier, if you want to see a more detailed comparison between the two, if you're considering either one of these phones, then you might want to see a actual comparison and the differences and all that kind of stuff. So make sure to leave it down below in the comment section if that's something that you want to see, and I'll try to make that happen. But if it was helpful and informative anyway, hit that like button. Any questions you may have, leave it below. If you're new around here, consider subscribing and click that bell to get notified for future content. I would appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.